If you've been following the protracted birth of this car, you probably know the basics. The 2017 Fiat 124 Spider is a Mazda MX-5 in an Italian-designed suit. It's built in Japan, and it was engineered by Mazda but sports a Fiat engine, shared bones, different philosophies. A quick Miata aside, when we found out the latest MX-5 had less power than the NC generation car that came before it, what got shouted down was the fact that it's significantly lighter, and it's also a damn riot to drive. It doesn't need more power, and we reaffirm this belief every time we get in one. I did just that, driving one to the airport to catch a flight to San Diego this week. I was disappointed to discover that the interior went in for only the most minor of revamps. Mazda's cnet infotainment system carries over, as do the gauges, although the Abarth has a red applique surrounding the central tack. The Mazda wheel wears a Fiat badge and a different rim, and the seats use the structure from the Miatas with Fiat coverings and altered stuffing. This is admittedly a non-issue if you're unfamiliar with how Mazda's interior bits look, and it all works just as well as it does in the MX-5. I think the Lusso's tan leather seats, with handsome stitching, look great. The biggest change is under the hood. The 124 Spider's engine is a version of the 1.4-liter, turbocharged inline-4 from the Fiat 500 Abarth, fitted with clever multi-air variable valve control technology. In that rambunctious little hatch, it sits transversely, but the 124's engine is modified to fit north-south in the engine bay and makes 160 horsepower at 5,500 revolutions per minute and 184 pounds-to-foot of torque at 2,500 revolutions per minute. It's a torque-rich, lower revving unit with a 6,500 revolutions per minute redline. By comparison, the MX-5 makes 155 horsepower at 6,000 revolutions per minute and 148 pounds-to-foot at 4,600 revolutions per minute, with a slightly higher redline. But the 124 Spider's engine is most notable for its lack of oral drama. Yes, turbocharged engines tend to have muted exhaust notes, but the 500 Abarth this engine is yanked from is famous for its raucous soundtrack. The Fiat 124 Spider simply doesn't sound as enjoyable as the MX-5, which achieves a perceptible and wonderfully tuned note that doesn't drone or intrude. Fiat reserves some melodrama for the Abarth version with its quad-tipped sport exhaust, and a mopar accessory exhaust takes it one step further. Some of the quietness is due to additional sound insulation, including a laminated windshield and extra material in the soft top, but with the top down, the Fiat's generic, slightly growly exhaust note is hushed. One other mechanical difference worth noting is the transmission. The 124 Spider uses the last generation Miata's 6-speed manual, as it's better suited to the torque output of the 1.4-liter Fiat engine. That adds a few pounds to the car, and it's not quite as snickety as the ND MX-5's buttery shifter. Overall, the lightest 124 Spider weighs 2,436 pounds to the lightest MX-5's 2,332 pounds. The Abarth Automatic is the heaviest 124 Spider, at 2,516 pounds. The other useful 124 Spider characteristic is the broad swell of torque in the mid-range. When the turbocharger starts to puff heavily, there's enough grunt to power out of an understeery wallow. On windy public roads without a stopwatch in sight, the real fun was using brute force to churn out of one corner and truck over to the next. The extra muscle also made gear selection less important. Braking is excellent, progressive, and suited to the car. From what we experienced at the autocross, the optional $1,495 Brembos on the Abarth version are more aggressive. The MX-5's steering is notable in its lack of self-centering, and the Fiat's electric power steering tuning fixes that and also adds a meatier feel while remaining light at low speeds. Whatever flavor of 124 Spider appeals to you, they're all reasonably priced. The basic Classica starts at $25,990, the Lusso at $28,490, the Abarth at $29,190, and the Prima Edizione is much less of a deal at $35,995. But what price exclusivity? A 6-speed auto is available on Altrims as a $1,350 option. We drove a Lusso with the auto, and while it's a bit slow-witted when called upon to drop a couple gears, it's pleasant enough in all other situations. Whether the 124 Spider appeals to you will depend on what you value, so choose your own adventure.